Hey everybody, it's Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring, and today is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. Hope you're doing well. Hey, I had a nice little profitable trade I wanted to share with you today on WBA, which is Walgreens. And I want to start out, I usually say this about every video, but it's very important to look at the higher time frame if you're looking to intraday trade on that market. And you'll often see that a lot of the day trades that I take, I pull from what I'm looking for on the daily. And I have a weekend review podcast on YouTube, and in that on Saturdays, and last Saturday I was discussing, this is the daily time frame, I was discussing WBA, and what caught my interest is here on this big up bar day. Why is this important? It's important because prior to that we had a low, we had a rally, we made a lower low, and then this bar took out the first swing high, which changed the market structure to bullish on this particular market. And very oftentimes after you change market structure to bullish, you will have a bit of a pullback. And you see this highlighted green area in here. What is that? That's a fair value gap. That's the bottom. Here is bar 1. Bar 2 is the bar that changes structure, and then you have a bar 3. And then you have the high of bar 1, the low of bar 3, and after you change market structure to the upside, very often you'll come back into this fair value gap. The market likes to go back. There was a vacuum here. Price wasn't tested. It likes to come back in and kind of back test this gap. Well, often when it comes back into this fair value gap, that's where it will bounce before it takes a longer leg up. All right. So I was looking to get long WBA on the dailies somewhere in this green area on a daily for a swing trade. The point that I was really looking at was about halfway from the bottom to the top of this big bar, right about here. Well, you can see yesterday it literally touched that halfway to the penny and bounced. I didn't buy it, but this morning or earlier today when the market was open, when it started getting back down into this area, I thought, well, I had a pretty good idea that there would be some support there and probably a bounce, so that's why I was looking for an intraday trade on the 5-minute bars. But again, it all started with the higher time frame on the daily. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to trade 5 minutes, look for something in a larger time frame to make sure you have some kind of structure change or you have some kind of support there as well. All right. So on the daily, somewhere in this green area on the daily is where I was looking to get long, ideally right about here. Okay. And that is where I got long today. So I like the higher time frame here. This is what got my attention and put this is why I took WBA on the daily time frame, or on the 5-minute time frame. So let's go to the 5-minute, and you can see the big green area here. That was the fair value gap on the daily. Okay, but I've highlighted, I think it was last week, I highlighted a fair value gap within a fair value gap, right? So on the daily, this green area is the fair value gap, the bullish fair value gap area on the daily. But take a look here on the 5-minute. There's also a fair value gap. I highlighted it in blue. Yesterday we had a low, we had a rally, we had a lower low, and then right at the end of the day, oh no, wait, this was today. Today, look at this. Low, high, low, change structure to the upside by taking out the swing high. But look, it created its own fair value gap again. Again, a fair value gap within a fair value gap. Here's bar 1, 2, 3, the high of bar 1, the low of bar 3 is the fair value gap on the 5-minute within the larger fair value gap on the daily. So as soon as it came down pretty much filled this gap. The bottom is my ideal spot to buy, the lower part of the fair value gap, because my risk to reward's the best. That is where I bought. Again, because the daily had a fair value gap on the 5-minute, it created its own, it changed structure on the 5-minute and created its own fair value gap here. So I got long here at 1786. My end of bar stop is simply if it takes out this low, because if it takes out this low, then the market structures to the downside again. And then I place my 2 ATR emergency stop here. Okay, so if it closed below this low, I'm simply out. If I had a big, huge bar down and got to here as soon as it got down there, I would be out as well. So that's to the downside. 2 ATR emergency stop to the downside. But where's my reward? Well, it should be at least 2 times your emergency stop. My emergency stop's 2 ATR. So I put my profit target up here, 4 ATR, right? Because you want to have an asymmetrical risk to reward ratio. If I'm right, I'm going to be right twice as much as if I'm wrong. And that's correct risk to reward in trading. Can be 3 to 1, 4 to 1 too, right? So I got long here, 1786, end of day stop, closed below this low here at about 1780, 2 ATR stop, emergency stop below, and 4 ATR profit target above. And you can see that easy peasy on this one. Let's see. Sorry, I'm having to scrunch up there we go. So I got long here, 1786, did hit my 4 ATR profit target up here at 1820. So looks like about 34 cents profit to the upside. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're dealing with an $18 stock, you know, you can buy a lot of shares. So, you know, that takes care of the day on this one trade. But it's a very good example of a good risk to reward ratio using multiple time frames, using the fair value gaps. And I mean, you can see I was negative on this trade for 23 seconds or something, but it ended up being a really nice trade. So, you know, you can use these fair value gaps intraday, dailies, monthlies, you know, they really work. So if you like this this video, if it was helpful for you, appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. If you would like to learn more about my trading, as I mentioned, I do have a podcast on YouTube on the weekends called Gossett Trading and Mentoring Weekend Review, where I take you through all of my trades that I've done on the daily time frame and the weekly time frame in the previous week. Talk about when I entered them. We talk about why I entered them, what were the confluences, what were the setups, similar to this, but on the daily time frame. And then most importantly, how I'm going to manage that trade going forward, whether it goes my way or goes against me. So I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, if you did, appreciate a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions about this, put them in the comment section. Do my best to get back to you. But thanks again for tuning in, and hope you have a good rest of your night. Bye-bye.
U.S. Government Disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.